Hello and welcome to Barcelona for the Spanish Grand Prix. We are back. We've had a little break and we're back now at a really nice circuit, actually, especially since we don't have to go through the chicane in sector 3. You see, there's a start finish, then DRS, lots of DRS, 2 zones, but very good for overtaking. We'll see how that affects the race as we have a look at the starting grid, and it will be Max Verstappen on pole position from Lando Norris. Nothing much between them, certainly just very close. Then a bit of a gap, Leclerc and Sainz, Alonso 5th, Hamilton 6th, Piastri 7th, Perez 8th, Russell 9th, that's a bit low down for George, Gasly 10th, Ocon, Ricciardo, Stroll 13th, Albon 14th, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Bottas, and the back row of Sargent and Zhou, which is not really a surprise. But bit far down there, Lance. He's been doing a good job the last couple of weeks, but not this week. As you can see in the driver's standings, Fernando Alonso leads by 5 points. Lando just dropping back a little bit, but still very much in this. And the constructors still is anybody's to win. Everybody just preparing for the race now. We're on the starting grid. And the lights are out, we are underway, and that's a good start from Max Verstappen and from Lando Norris, really. I think they've managed to hold off the Ferraris for now. Yes, they have. Oscar Piastri having a decent start. Fernando Alonso's managed to get up into 4th position. That's a really, really good start from Fernando. Splitting the Ferrari drivers already. Great stuff there. Normally it does have a good start, so not overly surprising, but yeah, it's impressive nonetheless. Of course, DRS will be enabled from lap 2, so to keep the gap to the guy in front. I will say though, it's a very short circuit in Spain. And it is difficult in one lap to make that gap of a second. I think Alonso's managed to do that to Carlos Sainz, he's dropped back now. There's a gap between the top 4 and the rest. And there we go. Max has held that lead there for the entirety of the first lap. And they're going 3 wide here. It's Lewis Hamilton, Oscar Piastri and Carlos Sainz. Sainz managing to hold on. Piastri in danger here. It'll take something big from Oscar to get that position back. Giving Lewis the squeeze. And he's through. That is a really nice move from Oscar Piastri, the Australian driver. Absolutely phenomenal stuff there. Very, very difficult against such an experienced and talented, one of the greatest of all time, Lewis Hamilton, and he's managed to make the move and make it stick. However, Charles Leclerc has dropped out of DRS of the front 2, which means he's going to be looking over his shoulder at Fernando Alonso right now. Down the start finish straight. I would imagine that Lando's going to try and make a pass here. That's doing pretty well to defend. Lando swings it round the outside to get the inside line. Through the next corner of the right-hander, and he's managed to get through. That is a nice move. And Lando Norris is now the race leader. look at a replay of Oscar Piastri here on Carlos Sainz. Similar sort of move. Down the inside through turn 1, outside through turn 2, which gives him the inside line through turn 3. Sainz has to back out, so a good move there from Oscar Piastri, who's already 3.5 seconds down on Fernando Alonso. Needs to get a move on. Fernando also needs to make this pass on Leclerc as quickly as possible. Get himself bunched up with the two in front. See what they can do here. Leclerc will have DRS this time, so it makes it infinitely more difficult for Fernando to make the pass now. Charles just inside the DRS range. Max is going to have another go. He's going to have a go to get that position back on Lando. Quite well defended there from Lando Norris. Not leaving any room. And so it doesn't look like... excuse me, it doesn't look like he's going to get through. Sainz is in a right battle here, but with Lewis Hamilton and Sergio Perez, he's dropped like a stone, really. So, 6th position. Very much in danger from Lewis Hamilton. Perez looks to sling it all the way around. Doesn't quite make the move. I think he realises he's got the pace on Carlos Sainz here. He could be carrying a bit of damage. He does seem to be very susceptible to the pass. Let's check those end plates. That's normally if there's going to be damage where it is. So here comes Max on Lando Norris, making the charge. Close the gap there with DRS. In sector 3 now, and from now on you don't need to lift off. Just straight round and then into the start finish straight, and we'll see then. Not sure Leclerc got DRS there either, so good opportunity for Alonso. Next, trying to squeeze Lando, not quite able to pass though. You see Lando holding onto his position very well, and Fernando side by side with Leclerc, but unable to make it stick. It's got to be the car he's looking and to get past as quickly as possible, so he can get on the back of the top 2, as I mentioned before. Lance Stroll has managed to move up 1 position to 12th. Any sort of points here for the team from Lance, given his starting position, would be good. Obviously, over the course of the season, you need him to be picking up higher positions than he has been. As I say, the last couple of weeks have been, last 2 or 3 races have been pretty good for him, and he's done well for the team. But here we go, Verstappen trying to make the same move that Norris made on lap 2 actually, and he has made it, and quite easily as well. As now Russell goes past Sainz, who's down into 9th, back up to 8th position. We'll see, can George make this stick? You see Perez has gone through. Now Russell looking to make the move, side by side. Russell through for sure. And Carlos Sainz is not having a great day. He started 4th on the grid, which is very, very respectable. And Lando is moved down to 4th. What's happened there then? And we've got yellow flags out. If we get a replay of that, yeah, oh, there he is. He's in the gravel. That is a disaster for Lando Norris, and he's out of the race. Wow, well. Lando Norris is out of the race. Incredible. Yeah, we'll see the replay here. He comes round. No, he didn't get any contact. That's a mechanical failure there. Puts it into the gravel, nice and safe. But incredibly, yeah, no points going to be scored for Lando Norris in his pursuit of this Drivers' Championship and in McLaren's pursuit of the Constructors' Championship. That is actually, wow, that's not good at all. Any points that Max and Fernando managed to get. Talking of Fernando, he's decided he's going for it. He's making the move, and he's made the move. Fernando Alonso up into second position, needs to push now, 2 seconds behind Max Verstappen. He's got the clean air. A bit further down, it's Ricciardo and Ocon having a real good battle. This is for points, by the way. This is for 8th position. Carlos Sainz down to 10th now, which surely signifies he's got major damage. But yeah, what a push from Fernando Alonso, and 3 points for Alonso and Verstappen compared to what Lando's going to get. So these two are definitely going to pull away at the top of the championship. It's just a question of by how many points and who gets what. Disastrous for McLaren today, and for Lando Norris personally. Fernando's managed to gap Leclerc. Leclerc won't be having any DRS, which is good. It's good for Fernando. He just needs to try and close the gap now on Max Verstappen for first position. He took about a 10th out. If he keeps doing that, it's going to be a while before he passes, but he's in a good position now. There's Carlos Sainz and Lance Stroll having a battle. Lance looking to get through here, and has managed to get through. Now sitting in a point scoring position, Lance. Carlos Sainz just holding everybody up behind him. That's why at the front you can see some quite large gaps. As everyone's gone past Carlos Sainz, they've lost time to the guy in front. Lap 8 of 33, very quick laps. Lots of chances to close the gap and try and make a pass again. Ocon and Ricciardo is the main battle here. We watch also George and Perez. We'll see. I think he's a bit too far back. He's 9/10 away. But he's going to be able to close the gap at least. He has closed that gap by a couple of tenths. As we look at Lewis Hamilton here in 5th, having a good race. And a decent time of it. A few drivers like Leclerc here, for example, are kind of in no man's land at the minute and need to close the gap. Speaking of closing the gap, Fernando's managed to take quite a bit of time out of Max's lead here this lap. So when he passed Leclerc, the gap was about 2 seconds. It's down to 1.5. Less than that now. Fernando running very quick. Question is, can he make the pass? There's Perez, with George Russell. Russell's actually got a chance here. He's trying to move over and defend. Won't be able to. Russell clean through. So George now up to 6th. Didn't have the greatest qualifying, but has really made a move here. I think that's Sainz battling with Hulkenberg, about to lose another position. An absolute disaster for Carlos Sainz. Not good at all. .3, 1.2, 1.1, 1 second, less than a second. He's not going to quite. I don't think he's going to quite have DRS here, Fernando. It's unfortunate, but it's not going to be long before he does. Really closing the gap, and a massive opportunity. All he's got to do is get within DRS, and then he can use that to his advantage. The extra speed that he gets through those 2 zones is going to put him right on the back of Max Verstappen, who, to his credit, has had a really good start to this race. And Ocon and Stroll, and Ricciardo, apologies, Stroll just behind there, having a battle. Ocon's managed to hold on to position there, and Lance does need to get close to these guys, and he has closed the gap, so fair play to him. As also Hulkenberg's gone through on Carlos Sainz. It looks like Albon's next, then Tsunoda. It's going to be a long old race for Carlos Sainz. Clear now, over 4 seconds back. You see that Ferrari not quite performing at the levels that we're accustomed to. Done a decent job though. Still got a 2-second-ish lead on Oscar Piastri. Fernando though not able to close the gap enough. That last lap is going to have to try and go for it again, but also be wary of the tyres. Time management paramount here at Spain. As, we've got a lot of moves here happening at the same time. So Danny Rick up to 8th, Russell up into 6th behind his teammate Lewis Hamilton there. Carlos Sainz made a position up by passing Hulkenberg for 12th position. So yeah, a lot happening here. Not just on camera, where we are watching Alonso's chase down of Max Verstappen, but also off camera. Lots going on, and not really surprising. Always action here in Barcelona, in Catalonia. We go down to Russell defending from Perez. Perez will probably try and make a move here. Alonso not getting DRS again this lap. He's closed the gap through sector 1 though. And here we go then. Perez nicely past Russell. Quite an easy pass. Manages to defend Russell through the opening chicane on turn 3. We've got these guys 3 wide. Lance Stroll is there. Lance Stroll is going to try and make 2 positions here. It's going to be tough. Ocon's missed out there, down into 10th. Lance Stroll's managed to take 9th position. So really good stuff from Lance. I thought for a second maybe he could have made the double pass, but 1 position's good enough for now. Looking at the times, Alonso's dropped back again. I think that middle sector, Max is quicker. Looking at Russell, he's going to be close enough to at least try and make a move on Perez into turn 1 and 2. We'll see if he does. He's had a really good exit. Very nice there as the RS opens. He's not able to pass there. He had a vote but wasn't able to do it, as it's all changed now, as I assume people are going to come into the pits. Lap 14 of 33, so it's going to be the hard tyres going on. Sainz back up to 10th, at least temporarily. Yet to pit. Gasly 10 seconds down on Russell. So you can see all these guys pitting in, and really shows the gap between everyone. This is the battle for ninth between Hulkenberg and Sainz. Sainz had a bit of a disaster there, right on board with him. Imagine he got some sort of damage, maybe side pod damage on the start, maybe even from his own teammate, who knows? But yeah, I wouldn't imagine the Ferrari being that slow. Will anyone else come in? That's Fernando and Charles all out still, alongside Oscar, Lewis, George and Sergio Perez. Gasly, Hulkenberg, Sainz all yet to pit 2. As Sonoda goes through on Hulkenberg, that is for position. I don't think either of those guys have pitted in yet. I think it's from Ricardo down that's pitted in, so that is a big pass there from Yuki, and if we can get through on Carlos Sainz too, that would be phenomenal. You see things levelling out again at the back as more people come in to take their pit stop. And the top 2 are in. I believe Max is in, yep, and Alonso's definitely in. So at the end of lap 15, hard tyres are going to be put on here. While we're watching the pits, don't forget you can subscribe to the channel. It is free, and we do love to see you guys subscribe. We read all of your comments and the viewer interaction. You guys make this channel what it is, so it's always great to hear from you and see that you've been watching these videos and that you enjoy watching them as much as we enjoy making them as well. Here comes Alonso out in 5th position, of course. Oh, and we've got a safety car. Wow, that's really changed things. That's very unlucky for both Max and Fernando there. I think they might just be close enough to where it won't make that much of a difference. But let's have a look on the replay. So we've got Valtteri Bottas. Oh, he's gone for a spin and he's held everyone up. So yeah, safety car is out. Cheeky there from Ocon, I think that is, going through. Also Hulkenberg making up some positions there, and we've got a safety car. Yeah, Bottas is continuing, so that's good. He's not like his DNF, but yeah, that's surely Piastri, Perez and Russell all pit here. They're going to make time. I think it's 12 seconds gained in a pit stop under safety car conditions, as opposed to a pit stop under race conditions. So it would make sense for them to stop right now and make that change. But incredible, absolutely incredible. I cannot believe it. An actual safety car for the probably for the first time this season. Yeah, Verstappen and Alonso move up to 1st and 2nd position, and everybody comes in that hasn't now. Makes sense. Let's see, are they going to do some work on Sainz's car? Doesn't look like it. But if he has side pod damage, as I suspect, it's not something you're going to be able to repair in a pit stop. He's just got to live with that and do his best. And right now his best with that damage is 14th, so not looking great for Carlos. So as we've got the safety car out, I can tell you that we will be recording another show for you, the F1 radio show, if you want to call it that. We'll be back in the studio soon. Obviously we've had a couple of weeks break in terms of races, and it's been all quiet in the world of F1, aside from a couple of things happening at Andretti Motorsport, which indirectly affects Zach Brown, with him resigning from the board. But also I'd like to invite you to check the link below, and if you can send us a dollar and help us buy us a coffee, that massively helps us with these videos. They do take a lot of time and effort to make, and obviously not just the recording process but the editing, and also getting them to you. But it's up to you. If not, as I mentioned before, if you are unable to do that, the subscribe button and that thumbs up button are there. They cost nothing to click, and they help us out massively. Also, I know there's a lot of people that have followed this season so far, and we can tell by the numbers. So you're one of those people. Who do you think is going to get that? Who's going to get that big championship? Is Alonso going to do it? Is Max just going to be too strong? This is obviously a very, very close championship with Fernando Alonso in first position by 5 points at the minute. It's a long way to go in the season, and also upgrades on each of the cars are gonna change things over the course of the season. As you see, the safety car is in this lap, so we're gonna get racing as soon as possible. Around the last corner, but to try not to be caught out here on the restart. And Max has gone. He's gone early. And Fernando's done well there. He's managed to anticipate that early restart. And one good thing now, everybody's managed to pit in. Whether it be a couple of laps before the safety car, the lap previous, or when the safety car came out. And everybody's bunched up. We're going to have DRS from the start of the next lap, so it's probably done Fernando a favour. Managed to get him within DRS range. He's got to stay within it for the duration of this lap, though. He has dropped back a little bit. Max looking really quick. Doing his all to make that gap. He knows if he does, it's infinitely more difficult for Fernando to pass. He's got about a lap and a half from the restart until the first DRS zone. Piastri already a second down, so you can see these front two have really pushed everything they can, and trying to build a decent lead. So it's a 1v1 between them at the front. And Carlos Sainz down to 15th. Back up to 14th temporarily, but battling with Logan Sargent is not what, or I don't think, is what Carlos Sainz wanted to be doing this race. It's a disaster really for the Ferrari team, and for the Ferrari driver too. You might as well have gone out like Norris early on and DNF'd at this point. You're not helping anyone at all. Retire, save your engine, fix the damage, come back the next race. But here we go. Fernando, easy for me to say. Fernando does have the DRS needed. He's very close. He's going to try and make the move. No, he's just positioning himself, and he has done so quite nicely there. There's no rush to get past Max if the opportunity provides itself, and of course it's going to be taken. But still got 13 racing laps to go, about 12 and a half now. So he's going to make sure that when he makes the move, it's the right time. It's the one that he can make stick. 2-second gap now to Piastri from this front two, so you see definitely a huge difference, at least in this Grand Prix, in terms of performance between Verstappen, Alonso and the rest. Leclerc down to 4th behind Piastri, as of course started in 3rd. Here we go. No, still Fernando playing the waiting game. No need to rush. Not yet anyway. As Lance Stroll, as we look further down, in 9th position, so 2 points now for Lance as it stands. Currently a bit stuck though. He's in a big DRS train. It's going to be difficult for him. We fancy him to be able to outperform just on just pure performance wise Daniel Ricciardo in the RB just in front, but the problem is Daniel Ricciardo is getting DRS from Lewis Hamilton, so makes things a little bit more awkward for Lance, although he has pulled out a 2-second gap on Esteban Ocon. That's massively important. Means he can concentrate fully on what's in front of him rather than worrying what's behind. So again, DRS open for Fernando. Again, not quite close enough. Needs to maybe get a half a tenth closer, and maybe all good. The battle for 3rd is actually a battle from 3rd all the way down to 9th DRS. Although Danny Rick's just kind of dropping away now, which is obviously, in one sense, that's bad news for Lance Stroll because he's losing time to those in front. But in another way, that's good news for Lance Stroll because if Daniel Ricciardo doesn't get DRS, he's there for the taking from the second Aston Martin car. Fernando really close now. I'm looking to take a different line here. Almost got through on Max. He has to have a good exit. He has had a decent start to that last couple of corners. He's closing the gap. I think this might be the one. This could be the one. It's going to be close. It's going to be very, very close. But yes, Fernando Alonso has taken the lead of the race, as Lance Stroll also goes through into 8th position. So the Aston Martin team make their moves, and what a move that was actually from Fernando. In the expected sector of the track, waited patiently until the move was on, and it was more secure, and not a risk, and he managed to get through. Now it's about holding that lead from Max Verstappen. Easier said than done, by the way. And as you can see, Max not happy, looking to take that position back as quickly as possible. Alonso, I'm sure, being roared on by this partisan Spanish crowd. You can see that's Joe and Sainz at the back, I believe. Here we go. Is Max going to make a pass? No, I don't think he's quite close enough. He's just, as Alonso was doing, he's just positioning himself as Leclerc. Charles Leclerc goes through on Oscar Piastri. Get the replay of that. Yeah, there we go. It is a nice clean pass. Round the outside, inside line into turn 3, very important. Use that long right hander and managed to get 3rd place there. Not safe at all. Oh, and Fernando Alonso, not a fan of DHL then. Absolutely wrecking the board, and unfortunately down into 2nd position. Let's see what happens here. Oh, runs wide, as you can see, and clearly didn't get his package delivered within 48 hours. DHL, not his favourite company at the minute. He's still got DRS, and I don't think he'll have damage going through that. Those boards easily breakable and don't really affect your race. He's got it all to do again though. That's the problem. He was in a good position, and now, oh, a little bump coming off the curve. Yeah, he's got it all to do again to get 1st position. Hopefully he hasn't lost his head any here. It's obviously possible, you know, that he's unhappy. As Piastri takes 3rd position back from Charles Leclerc. Stroll into 8th position, taking that position back from Daniel Ricciardo. Those two really side by side, and have dropped back from the cars in front. So let's see here. From Verstappen through. Ooh, and Fernando really struggling at the minute. That was a big mistake, and the gap is now 1.2 seconds. Needs to just mentally. Oh, and again a big snap of oversteer. I think he just needs to just reset mentally here, and not over push. I think that might be part of the problem. Obviously he wants to get within DRS and try and pass Max, but he needs to just calm himself a little bit, you know, take a deep breath and go again. As we watch the chasing pack, this is the battle for 3rd position between Piastri, Leclerc, Perez, Russell and Hamilton. Very difficult for anybody that's not Leclerc to pass there. The more having DRS. Ricciardo manages to get through on Stroll. Lance back down to 9th position. To see Carlos Sainz 19th. As Stroll goes through, gets the position back. He has got the performance over the RB in terms of the vehicle that he's driving. There we go. Fernando Alonso has closed the gap once again to about 4 tenths, a bit less than that now. So we'll have an opportunity, I believe, with this DRS zone on the start-finish straight. Decent qualifying from Fernando. 4th. There's the fastest lap of the race for Fernando, but he hasn't made it easy for himself during the race. The last lap or two, not able to make the move yet. Still time, still 6 racing laps to go. It's, Stroll and Ricciardo again having a right old battle into turns 1, 2 and 3, I would assume. Of course, regardless of the fast lap, if Max does win this race, he will take the lead in the driver's standings. That's why Fernando Alonso's pushing as hard as he can. He doesn't want to lose that first place in the driver's standings, which is understandable. You know, he's worked hard to get that first place, and he doesn't want to give it away. Again, very aggressive around these corners, Fernando. I think he's close enough to at least have a look. And that's all he did have, though, a look. Running out of road here. He's very close, so at any point he could possibly have a go. But yeah, very difficult. Ricciardo and Stroll again. I think that's the main battle as we look at them. So look at Stroll making the move, trying to use the inside. Daniel Ricciardo using all his experience there, just to try and squeeze Lance out. But you see Lance comes out in front. All their battling though has led to Esteban Ocon getting on the back of them and making it a 3-way for 8th, 9th and 10th. It's going to be an interesting finish for those guys. Questions to be asked and to be answered in these last few laps. Will Alonso be able to regain first position and hold on to it as well? Who's going to win the battle for 3rd? That is a huge battle. And who's going to win the battle for 8th position too? They're the main questions we need answering right now. And we're going to get those questions answered within the next 4 laps now. Leclerc and Piastri side by side. Leclerc goes through, and that's a big advantage this late in the race. You can see the Mercedes and also Perez in the second Red Bull unable to do anything because only the car with DRS is having enough to make a pass on the guy without DRS, and then everybody behind, they're just chasing. Might need a mistake from somebody for one of those 3 to pass. Equally down in 8th position, Lance Stroll with Ricciardo 9th and Ocon 10th. I imagine that they're going to need the same sort of thing. If you're Ocon, certainly. Gasly's closed that gap quite significantly, by the way, that last lap. And as we start lap 31, Fernando definitely not close enough here. You see at least a car's length between them. And Oscar Piastri almost made the pass. It was basically side by side with Charles Leclerc there. And now he has gone through. So good news there. Tsunoda's gone through on Albon for 12th position. No points, but very much pride at stake. Lance Stroll and Danny Ricciardo side by side battling. Lance Stroll managing to hold 8th, but no, Ricciardo without Stroll. It goes to a definitely side by side. Yep, there we go. Is Danny Rick going to be able to get the position? No, Lance doing a great job there, holding on to 8th, but he's got to do that for 2 more laps after this one. Let's not forget that he's got Esteban Ocon behind them as well. So any sort of mistake could be massive at this stage. So Fernando's going to make the move on lap 32 of 33. He's managed to get through. Yes, he's managed to get the car in front. So that will be first position now. The lead of the race for Fernando Alonso with about a lap and a half to go. As Ocon makes that move, Stroll down to 10th. That's a big loss there for Lance Stroll from 8th to 10th. Now 3rd in that DRS train. But we're sticking with the leader here. We're sticking with Fernando Alonso. Also Alonso Cam in the top right. Maybe you've been watching that all race. You've been seeing him have an absolutely phenomenal race, really. A great race. Couple of mistakes last time he took the lead. But going on to the last lap now. It looks like he's got a good advantage. It's close, but it's not close enough. As we see Piastri on Leclerc, not able to do anything. Leclerc holding 3rd position right now. As Ocon goes through on Ricciardo. Lance Stroll unable to unfortunately gain any positions back, down into 10th. It's going to be difficult to overtake during this last lap, as we watch Verstappen trying to chase Fernando Alonso down. He's going to be close, but I don't think he's going to be close enough. I think Fernando's going to be able to pass the start-finish line before Max can catch him. Not going to be DRS, so we're going to have a race winner, and it's going to be Fernando Alonso from Max Verstappen. Charles Leclerc, is he going to make 3rd position here? Yes, he is. It's going to be Leclerc, Piastri, Perez, Russell. But look at that. Fernando Alonso wins the Spanish Grand Prix. He's come home and he's done the job. Esteban Ocon gets driver of the day. I'm not sure about that. Maybe Fernando. Qualified 5th, wins the race. As you can see, the Aston Martin drivers, the Aston Martin pit crew, everybody there, engineers. I'm sure Lawrence Stroll's there somewhere too. Everybody delighted with that. That is an excellent result for Fernando. Stays in 1st place and increases his lead at the top of the drivers' standings. You see him walk out onto the podium. Got Mike Crack with him there. Max begrudgingly applauding Fernando on what was an absolutely world-class drive. And yes, you have to say a deserved winner today, Fernando Alonso. It was great to see. As always, a really interesting race. A surprising safety car and Lando Norris DNFing. And now we can see he's managed to pull away a bit of a gap there to Max in the driver's standings. Aston Martin still, though, they're in there. They're definitely in there with a shout. Lance only getting that 1 point though. He's 10th now in the driver's standings. Lance, the constructors, Aston Martin 3rd. As you can see there at the bottom of your screen, the next race will be from Austria. Another very quick track. You see lots of overtakes, lots of mistakes, lots of time penalties. That is going to be a really difficult track, but a really enjoyable one, I would say. That's definitely my opinion on Austria. Anyway, before we wrap this video up, well, I'd just like to say thank you for watching. Thank you to all the subscribers for subscribing. You're the real G's, and we'll see you next time for the Austrian Grand Prix. And hopefully it's as good as all these others that we've seen so far.